This short video goes through Edward de Bono's Thinking Hats, and you'll find the handout in the learning material. And this also relates to what we're going to be doing on Brief 6. And we're going to be doing it next week in class, and it's Task 3. So you're requested to take part in a group meeting which will be recorded for assessment purposes. It will be a formal meeting and will use Edward de Bono's 6 Thinking Hats. Your tutor will assign you with a hat colour, so I'll do that next week. It'll be a role play, and for the purpose of the role play, the following fictitious scenario will be used. So you're going to pretend that you're working for Bandon Further Education and Training Centre, so the centre below. A new training centre has opened in town, which has impacted the number of students coming to us in the centre below. And we're having a meeting to discuss what can be done to compete with the new company and the future of the centre. So in order for this to work, what we're going to do is use Edward de Bono's 6 Thinking Hats. You may have heard of it, you may have not, and that's what I'm going to explain to you now. In the handout that's on Moodle, you'll see the screenshot that I'm actually going to, or the slide that I'm going to share with you now. But what happens with the Thinking Hats is that you have 6 hats of different colours. Each colour represents a different way of thinking, and the different ways of thinking are all over here on the right hand side. So if you have been assigned with the black hat, what you have to do is you have to think negatively. One of the reasons they use this is that in some meetings, some people will only think in a certain way. So they might only ever look at the positives of something. Whereas in actual fact, to come to a proper decision, you need to look at all angles. You need to look at the weaknesses. You need to look at the facts. You need to think outside the box and so on. And that's why having these hats will make sure that every angle is looked at. No stone is left unturned. The other good thing about this is it gives people permission to think in a way. So if you're wearing the black hat, it allows you maybe to say things that you normally may not say in a meeting, because you might be afraid that you could lose your job, or that, you know, people mightn't like you saying that. So you're given a free pass to say things in a certain way. The yellow hat is the opposite. It's the positive. You're looking at the good things. You're looking at the benefits. The red hat then is about your feelings, your gut instinct, or you have a feeling that this is going to happen. You have a feeling that it's all going to be okay. So there's nothing to back it up. It's just your own gut instinct. The green hat then is about being creative, thinking outside the box. Very handy for businesses when they're looking for a bit of innovation, and they need somebody who just thinks beyond the norm. And then you have the white hat for that logical person who needs figures and facts and information before they make any decision. And the blue hat would be like the chairperson. He makes sure that all the other hats get an equal say in what they're saying. So it's a very interesting one, and that's the way we're going to do it. So when we go back to the question, so I'm going to leave this up here for a second. I'll have these printed out in handout format for you next week, but you will be assigned one of these hats. And when we're carrying out this task, you will have to think based on the hat colour that you're wearing. Obviously, you'll be given time to think about questions and stuff like that, but all you have to do is make some form of a contribution to get marks for this particular task. You're doing group discussions all the time. Just this one has to have a purpose, and you have to be thinking a certain way. So here now again is task 3 from brief 6 and the question that I went through. So you're assessed on your participation, so you verbal and non-verbal. So again, make sure you're listening, good eye contact, and also you have to participate. So you have to say one thing, okay? That's all you have to do, is to say one thing. And it's 6 marks, so it's a lot of marks. So if you're the person wearing, for example, the black hat, you might turn around and say, so we'll pretend that the company who's opened is a private company. And you'll say, well, you know, we're going to find it impossible to compete with a company that's private because they've all, you know, this money to buy whatever they want, and they can have all the fancy technology and so on. If you're wearing the yellow hat, you might say, well, we're, you know, part of the government, so we've got security. And you know, we've been in the town for many years, so we have loyal people coming to us. If you're the person with the white hat, you might say, well, you know, before we make any decision, I really need to see the facts. So how many new students are they after getting? How many students are we after losing? Okay, so what are the statistics that are out there? So just to have a kind of an idea of it. So when I see you in the centre on either Monday or Tuesday, we're going to be talking about presentations, and we're also going to be looking at the group discussion, and also carrying on a few more of those other things that are outstanding on the writing assessment. If you have any questions or stuck on anything, don't hesitate to drop me an email, and if you are stuck on anything, just to let me know. All the dates are moved now to the 21st of January, gives you time to catch up and get back into the swing of things. So have a good weekend, and I shall see you next week. And if you are self-isolating, don't worry, I will continue to do short summary videos just to keep you on top of things.